We are done at 10:15. That's when the pregame show starts. And then the tip-off is at 10:30 a.m. Billikens, George Washington, college basketball today.
I didn't even know he played basketball.
He was taller than most people during his time, was he not?
He was, in fact, 6 feet tall, George Washington.
And that was pretty
very
tall back
then. Yeah. Yeah. Presidents historically have been tall. We've only had a couple of short guys. I mean, yeah. And usually the taller candidate has won the presidential election in this country.
And this is a serious question.
Yes.
The presidents who were not tall, were they not generally wide?
Well, Madison was 5'4".
Okay.
Shortest president. He was not thick. Taft, who was the thickest president.
Yes.
He was, I think, 6 feet tall.
Was he really?
Yeah. I could be wrong about that. I'm often wrong.
Never in doubt.
Is
what about Teddy Roosevelt? He wasn't tall, was he?
Not particularly.
But he was a wide. He was a thick.
I don't have visions of Harry Truman being a tall guy either. Was he a tall guy?
I don't think so.
Really?
That was one that came to mind too.
Yeah.
We should speculate on the heights of all the presidents for the remainder of the show.
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm good for that. Happy birthday, Ron.
Hey, thanks, man. Hold on, it's tomorrow.
I know.
But what was the thing with the bathtub and Taft? Was that real?
Yes.
Okay, that was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Did he get stuck in that tub?
That's the reporting.
Did they just cover him and call it a day? Or did they extract him from the tub?
You've always had a pretty vigorous staff at the White House.
Yeah.
Folks are always around. Butlers.
But if someone's in a tub, they're probably slippery.
Slippery, yeah. Taft was probably
Harry Truman was 5'9".
Yep, that's short.
I think that's short.
5'9".
I think that's average male height now. I think the average American male.
Isn't it like 5'11"?
I don't know.
Oh man. Well, we don't have to worry about that, men, do we?
No, we don't.
No,
5'9".
A bunch of tall guys.
The average for adult male in the United States is 5'9".
Well, there you
according
go.
to the CDC.
That's rough. So, gentlemen,
what an elitist. You three, actually you four, all four of these gentlemen
tall
are
men.
5.
$6'5".
No.
Kind of elitist. I think it's
She's on you today, talking about those people and then, picking on us because we're tall.
Well, it has been one of my favorite things lately to refer to our listeners as these people.
These people?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He uses a lot of phrases that can come across as off-putting, like these people, those people, you people. That's how he talks to our listeners.
Yeah, well, we're going to need these people to come through for us again this year, and we'll tell you why later on. So Hancock and Kelly with us today for the hour.
Yes.
And then Scott Jagow is going to join us at 9:45, and we have a thing or two to say to him.
Oh, nice.
So Amy and I were talking about this in the office about, 30 minutes ago, about allegedly Americans, which is us, hate each other at kind of an alarming rate, and we dislike each other more than other countries dislike each other.
Yes, there's a new Pew Research poll, and the United States is the only country in a worldwide survey to say that most of its fellow citizens are bad. So it's a new striking survey. It was released yesterday. 53% of American adults describe the morality and ethics of their fellow citizens as bad, either somewhat bad or very bad. Pew Research Center looked at 24 other countries, and no other country had a majority say that their fellow citizens were bad. To put it in perspective, 92% of Canadians said their fellow Canadians are good, while just 7% said they're bad. But the United States, the only country in the world in this survey that said the majority of its fellow citizens are bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at how polarized we are politically. It doesn't surprise me that that's the case. It's unfortunate. I love people. I mean, I love people. People are great. I mean, there's people, there's good people, and then there's horses' asses. So you got three kinds of people out there. And I think most people are good people or people.
Hey, John is one of the 53%.
Yeah. Well, I think it's impressive that you say this, John. 1, because you've been in politics.
Yeah.
And 2, because you've been in politics and radio. And 3, politics, radio, and TV. And I will say, I am not proud of this, but having been in this world now where we talk politics and news on the radio,
Yeah.
I have become so profoundly cynical that I feel like a different person than when I got into this business, and I don't exactly like who I've become. Like, that's how cynical I've gotten. Why are you positive towards people? My first thought is I hate people, which is such a horrible, ugly thing to say, but that's how I feel.
So, I believe that people are all made in God's image,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all flawed. I mean, all of us have flaws, everybody. So you can choose one of those two prisms through which to look at other people. And I, as a general rule, I love just being with other people, getting to know their stories and what they've done, their triumphs, their difficulties. And I find it fascinating and enjoyable. So, bring them on. Now, there's always going to be some folks out there, just doesn't work.
So this doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It doesn't just happen that Americans decide we don't like each other more than other countries feel that way about each other.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just have. So why is it in Canada 90+% favorability of fellow Canadians, and here it's only 47? Why is that?
Well, have you ever met Canadians? They're nice people.
They're
Even the
very
ones who
polite.
beat the snot out of each other on the hockey rink are fun to listen to.
But it's not just Canada. I mean,
Yeah.
Amy said it. We're the only developed country that feels that way about each other.
I can only speak for myself, but there's a little more than half of the people right now who may have voted for somebody in particular that I don't much care for right now. So, yeah, I may fall into that category of not being happy with my fellow American.
And that is so the Pew Research put this out and said, basically, it falls along partisan lines in the sense that if someone voted for the opposite party, you think they're a bad person. But it was not always like that.
No.
My grandpa used to vote like back and forth, depending on who the candidate was. He'd vote Republican and then he'd vote Democrat. And he'd go back and forth.
Yeah, and a smaller percentage of the public does that these days. The so-called swing voter really is between 6 and 12% of the population now. And I do think we've had a generation and maybe two where our politics have become very personalized and hyper negative.
So who's responsible for that?
Michael.
Well, I watched it at the State of the Union. The president was talking about these people. Those people are sick.
Hey, that's my line.
Can't you believe that? Well, look at these people. They're sick.
Yeah, that doesn't help when it's the
No.
president doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm joking when I say
Yeah.
when I say our
Oh,
listeners,
are
these people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was incredibly off-putting that the guy's giving a State of the Union. So look at them over there. They're crazy. They're just presidents don't do that at the
No.
State of the Union. It's
No.
the Union, the
These
State of the
people
Union.
are
That's the
crazy.
whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
These people are crazy.
That is an insane way to talk when you're
it's-
delivering a
and-
State of
and
the
what's,
Union.
What's really different in the tone of this president is that every president before has attempted, not always successfully, but has attempted to unify the country. And certainly when we're in a conflict, the country has been in the early stages of every conflict, including Vietnam. There was widespread public support behind the president and the military and the effort.
Even Iraq in 2003.
Even Iraq in 2003. And this is every president had been able to kind of pull the country together in these times. This president, it's not a priority for him. And he actually thrives on the divisiveness and feeds on it. And so it's by design that this president behaves the way he does, and he's all for it.
And he does it for a reason.
Yep.
And it's because it works and people like it. There are so many people in this country, at least 40% of the country loves that.
Yeah,
So
I don't know that
so
it's
why
40.
do we love it?
I don't know that it's 40.
I mean, the reason I say 40 is because no matter what he does, there's always a 40% approval. There's always a baseline of 40%. So I will take it that about 40% of the country loves that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, he enjoys that support from millions and millions and millions of Americans.
So why are we like that? And I maybe this is an unanswerable question. I would like to know why, because if this were 20 years ago and somebody was speaking like that, it'd be an automatic disqualifier. Yeah. Nobody would vote for somebody like that 20 years ago. But now 35 to 40% of the country, I think, like it.
Yeah, and not all for the same reason either. There's always been about a quarter of the country that has felt alienated from politics, culture, whatever it is.
And I think they're rightful in that. I don't think they're wrong to feel that way.
But they feel alienated, and that group of voters, I think, is the inner core of the Trump base, the alienated citizen out there. And then there's a host of other factors, I think, that amount to the close to 40%.
We did have a texter ask which countries were 2 and 3. And I think they mean for bad, because the number one country for the most unified or the most pleasant was Canada, right? When I said 92% of Canadians think that their fellow citizens are good. But the United States, 53% think that the people in their country are bad. Number 2 was Turkey. 49% think their fellow citizens are bad. And then Brazil, 48% think their fellow citizens are bad.
Well, there you go. Fascinating.
Well, I think it's a fascinating discussion with probably no answer. Hancock and Kelly. So glad we tackled that today. Enjoy your Friday.
Well,
we're not done yet.
Not done.
We're here for about another hour. Yeah, before Billikens basketball this morning.
We're going to continue to entertain these people.
You got to entertain these people.
Man,
these people, what they demand of us.
These people are just killing me. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
A lot of people are getting their air conditioners tuned up and ready to go for the summer, and
We're getting a lot of calls of people saying they want a second opinion, to have us come out and requesting us to come out there and take a look at their air conditioners. They've been told that they need a new one, and the repair is quite costly, and might be best for them to replace the air conditioner and then repair it. If you're in that situation, please give me a call, because there is truly some opportunities here for you that we could save you lots of money, because I'm sure you're going to be shocked. We have the equipment that still works best for you with your budget. It's pretty much the best. Is what I would put in my home, is what I would recommend. Give me a call. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois. That is 314-293-2600. Or the online thing, and that is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX, and Hancock and Kelly with us on a Friday, as they always are. 10:15 Billikens pregame. It's coming up. A10 tournament. This is huge for them because, well, there are some people who believe that they have put themselves in a position where they need to win the tournament, if not at least get to the championship game on Sunday, because they haven't looked especially great in the last 3-4 weeks. So this is a big game for them today.
They've really started slow in just about every game for the last 2 months, right? And who are we playing today?
George Washington.
Oh, that's a tough matchup.
Because he's
they're only 6
tall.
foot tall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez. All right.
We're on the same wavelength.
So this morning, the Secretary of War, and we want to get to the
Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, he's the
Secretary of Defense.
Oh, did I say Secretary
Yes.
of War? I am so sorry. I will never again. I cannot believe I said that.
Such a ridiculous thing.
And it
so
is
dumb.
not the Secretary of War, because that is by statute. That has to be by Congress, and it's
Anyway.
not. So it's Secretary of Defense.
Well, they put it on the wall, so it must be.
And
you-
the stationary.
For a good time, call the Secretary of War.
The secretary
You know,
with
like
a phone number.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, Amy.
Well, because it took you a while to get it.
So Secretary of Defense.
Thank you.
Yes.
Or defense, if you're sportsy.
Defense. Pete Hegseth today. And, he's got a problem with you people.
He does.
He does. He has a problem with
It's
the media.
aggravating.
Well, so this is Pete Hegseth earlier today, who was complaining about the coverage of the war in Iran. And he does not feel like most of the media, and I'm sure that the right-wing friendly media is going to bat for the
they had
administration.
Mike Lindell TV in there too.
Yeah.
They did.
Yes.
Mike Lindell
the
TV.
pillow guy?
Wait.
John Smith, Mike Lindell TV, then another
Lumpy
guy.
pillows.
Yeah.
Great American Broadcast Network here.
So here is Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Or more fake news from CNN. Reports that the Trump administration underestimated the Iran war's impact on the Strait of Hormuz. Patently ridiculous, of course. For decades, Iran has threatened shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. This is always what they do, hold the strait hostage. CNN doesn't think we thought of that. It's a fundamentally unserious report. The sooner David Ellison takes over that network, the better.
So here's my issue with it. How many presidents before this complained about media in that way?
Well,
They didn't like the coverage that was being done, and I can't wait till you're owned by somebody else.
yeah, no, that
did not happen.
That's unique. But I think every president has been scornful of the media. I mean, they haven't expressed it in quite the same way that Donald Trump and his cabinet has done. I would consider that an inappropriate comment, but it's a comment that the president's going to enjoy.
Well, Pete Hegseth does not speak like the Secretary of Defense. he talks like he's hosting his own primetime Fox News
TV
channel.
Yeah.
That's what he sounds like. Oh, the fake news, CNN. He speaks so beneath the office. He's a very online bro with, I think, like so many in this administration, very low self-esteem. So he's constantly trying to prove something.
Yeah, I watched most of that press conference and then listened to it on the way into the station this morning. And it's aggravated me with him in particular since this conflict has started. It's been an us versus them. And as somebody who may not appreciate anything this administration's up to, I have friends that are over in the military. I am supportive of our men and women. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the Secretary of Defense having to answer a question. The problem is if it's not a question that they like, it immediately becomes this partisan nature. And it just shouldn't be that way, particularly in a time of conflict when men and women are in jeopardy. I don't ever recall it before like that in my life. I think John's right. I've heard presidents in the past say, oh, here comes Fox News with one of their bogus questions. I think it's different if it's the president than if it is somebody briefing you on the fact that, I don't know, a KC-135 tanker fell out of the sky yesterday and he wants to complain about, the coverage of it.
Well, you didn't hear Barack Obama say, I can't wait till to Fox News. I can't wait till Rupert Murdoch no longer is in charge of your network. Like, he didn't say stuff like that. We didn't do that before.
And you just have to wonder what we talked about this before. I think that we're all hoping that we're going to get back to normal once this administration ends, whatever this fog of Donald Trump is. But as somebody who's a partisan on the other side, I don't know that I want it to go that smoothly. I think I want us to behave the same way. I think we want to tell them, hey, Fox News, go sit outside while the rest of us, the adults, have a conversation. And that's not going to be good for our country. And what this man did today and what he's done for the last 13 days of this conflict / war or whatever they're spinning it to be this time is not healthy. This is not good. I don't like it.
And I will say, too, we talked about how the messaging matters, the language matters, right? Because as John said, there's always been some kind of conflict between a presidential administration and a news outlet. And if I remember correctly, I remember Obama got into a little bit of hot water because he didn't want, there was a Fox News reporter, I think they wanted excluded from the White House press pool. Right. And I think he got some pushback to that because they said, well, they, being the administration, said Fox News is not a legitimate outlet. It's an arm of the Republican Party. I think they got some pushback and Fox was allowed in.
Yeah, the entire press corps protested and they let him back in.
Yeah, so there's always been that conflict. But what I do know is that the language is different when you're in the middle of a war, a conflict, which is very serious, and service members are being lost, and they're investigating the school that was hit in Iran. I mean, this is very, very serious. The war is serious. And for Pete Hegseth to come across as a Fox News host saying, oh, the fake news and CNN is very, very unbecoming and beneath the office.
I know we're short on time. The fact that the White House did not lay out a detailed predicate explaining our entry into the war, into this war, means that there's a host of questions, legitimate questions that the American people need answers to. And the only way those questions get asked and hopefully answered is through journalists. And so to castigate journalists asking important questions in a multi-billion-dollar war already 2 weeks in, it's inexcusable to me that elected officials and their designees would behave in this fashion.
That's John Hancock. Michael Kelly is here with us as well. It's the Chris and Amy show until the pregame show for Billikens basketball at 10:15 today on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. There are real things to talk about amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Currently, it is 54 degrees and pretty cloudy outside. Studio B, breezy and pleasant today. Clouds and sunshine, a high of 60. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 36.
If you live in Missouri, have Medicaid, and need a caregiver, this message is important. Care at home is personal. That's why you may not want a stranger in your home to take care of you. You want someone who already knows you and your daily routines. With Freedom Care, you choose a trusted family member, a friend, or a neighbor. They will get paid after every shift to care for you, and it's 100% free to you. More than 70,000 people have already joined the Freedom Care family. Call your local Freedom Care. They'll check your Medicaid eligibility. Don't wait until a stranger shows up at your door. If you have Medicaid and need help at home, this care is available 100% free to you. Call Freedom Care now to see if you qualify. 314-907-0892. 314-907-0892. That's 314-907-0892.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found Tax Relief Advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA. And I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100. And I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Sound Physicians of Illinois LLC, DBA Sound Physicians of Missouri 3, has multiple openings for hospitalist physicians in Bridgeton, Missouri. Some of the job duties include to diagnose, treat, and provide general internal medicine and inpatient care for hospitalized adult patients. Must possess or be eligible to possess a valid state license to practice medicine in Missouri and have completed 3 years of residency training in family or internal medicine. Medical degree or foreign equivalent required. To apply, email Maggie McClooney at belong@soundphysicians.com.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
Today, it's men's Billikens basketball Atlantic 10 tournament play. Pre-game 10:15, tip at 10:30. Hear all the action here on your home for Billikens basketball, KMOX.
Obviously, you don't have a My Pillow too.
Lumpy pillows.
Can I just say, before Mike Lindell became Mike Lindell and his connection with Trump and all of that, before it was political,
Yeah.
my mom bought a MyPillow.
And?
She said they're lumpy. She returned it.
No, they're not lumpy pillows. That's not what they call on.
They're lumpy.
Lumpy pillows, kiss my ass.
Put that that in your book.
Put that in your book.
Listen, my mom is the nicest. My mom is the nicest lady you will ever meet. And she had no reason to dislike these pillows, because it's a hassle to make a return,
Oh, yeah.
And that's how lumpy they were. She had to return it.
Kiss my ass.
Lumpy pillows. I think Debbie Monterey bought one and didn't like it.
Yeah, I know. This is not partisan.
Hey, the man did sell a lot of pillows, though. I mean, you got to give him that. He sold a lot of pillows.
You know what the My Pillow
He's
felt
crazy.
like? You know how
nuts, but he sold a lot of pillows.
Those places like remember Discovery Zone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So places like that with the jungle gym inside, and you could crawl through stuff, for kids. And then they have the big ball pit, but it's not balls; it's foam squares, blocks.
Yeah.
That you dive into. That's what the My Pillow feels like to me.
Wow.
I've never touched a My Pillow.
You've never touched a My Pillow.
Oh, yeah,
I bet you have the nicest pillows.
He does.
He gets his pillows fluffed.
Yes.
He's got the gal that comes in and fluffs his pillows.
I do. I have a pillow fluffer.
He does.
I have like
That's when
7
you got
to
too
8
much
different kinds of pillows in my bed.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the ones that say home or heart or I'm talking about real man pillows.
Of the hundreds of people that have shared that bed.
So in the
His
evening,
pillows say war and anger, man stuff.
But in the evening, if I'm like, oh man, I can pull one of the other ones over, and so you can kind of get whatever modality you're in.
Wow.
You can have a different arrangement.
You pick your pillows by your mood?
No, how I'm feeling right there. Then I have 2 that are my favorite. They're like feather pillows. But sometimes they get, you need something a little stronger. You're maybe watching something on TV, so you pull it over.
Are you a pillow stacker?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the particular day. But what he's talking about in reference to my fluffer is occasionally somebody comes and helps me clean my house.
Careful.
And I'm telling you, I don't know what this lady does to these pillows, but she makes them so great that for the 2 days after I've had my house cleaned,
the fluff lasts
I
for 2
take
days.
3 of the pillows and I place them on the
2-day
floor
fluff.
on the side of the bed.
So you got
so that the next day I've got
pillows on the
new
floor.
fluffed pillows
On
2
the
days
floor.
in a row. Yes.
He's got his fluff pillows on the floor, folks.
That's
That's
exactly right.
that's remarkable.
I don't know. Nothing would please me more than if you were to have like Return of the Jedi sheets.
No, I don't. I have Sheeks, SHEEX. It's the best. I'll buy them for you. I buy them for anybody once they feel like
What's the
I'm
thread
interested.
count?
They're awesome. It's I don't know. It's you slide in it, buddy. It's
like silk?
Yeah, kind of
Oh,
silky,
I
but
don't
kind
like
of.
that.
They're
Do
lovely.
you get in bed and then slide out of bed?
No,
if you get in too fast?
I'm large enough that I'm not sliding, but it's just got the it's got a niceness about it. All I can tell is it keeps you warm in the summer or in the winter and cool in the summer.
Well, I can't wait to try them.
Sheets, I'll get you a pair.
Queen size, yeah.
Queen?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Why don't you just spend the night?
What, do you have a king?
Well, heck yeah, I got
It's
a king.
too
I'm a
big. It's too big.
man.
It's too big for one person.
Why don't you spend the night so you can try out the sheets
All right, I'll
before
spend
you
the night
buy
at
I
your
bet
house.
the guy needs to buy a new mattress every 5 years.
No,
That's just
I
my
have
guess.
a brand new mattress. I get it from a place in St. Charles. I love it.
Yeah.
And speaking of St. Charles, can I have a point of personal privilege? A
Yeah.
friend of mine passed away last night.
Oh, yeah.
His name was Ernie Dempsey, and
yeah.
he ran
Oh.
Pio's in St. Charles, Missouri. Pio's is my favorite pizza and restaurant that I went to growing up, and Ernie was the first Republican that I met in my life that was like a nice man. When I was a little kid, my dad was like, "This is Ernie and I fight in politics all the time," but they were best pals. And so R.I.P.
much like you and
Ernie
John.
Dempsey.
Yeah, Ernie really was a wonderful man. His son, Tom Dempsey, was the Senate Majority Leader, the Senate President Pro Tem in Missouri. And he still, I think he does some lobbying work in Jefferson City.
Oh, yeah.
But Ernie was one of the most generous people I've ever known.
Go to Pio's and have an Ernie special.
I'm
It's
gonna-
the
I'm
best
gonna do
pizza
that
that
this
you can
weekend.
get.
The Ernie special.
The Ernie special.
Yeah.
It's got a little onion on it, sausage.
Need to try this.
Yeah.
Pio's Pizza in St. Charles, Missouri. It's awesome.
Guys, wanted to get your thoughts on Sam Page. And I know you were talking about earlier today what he said yesterday in regard to the city and the county merging. And I know there have been efforts over the years. We talked about Better Together and how that effort failed about a decade ago. I guess it was less than a decade, probably about 7 years or so.
Yeah, it's about right.
And we are all in this room, I think, in agreement that needs to happen in order for this region to not completely die. And I'm hoping that this time around there's more support for it because the voters turned it down last time. Do you think that if we do this again, that there will be enough support?
Yeah, well, and I'm all for it. And I think it's a conversation we should be having. But let's be clear. I mean, this is Sam Page on the way out the door bringing something up. The headlines about him aren't that great. So I think he's trying to change the subject. Let's not kid ourselves to think that there's a larger narrative that's happening in terms of a city-county merger. It needs to happen. We are in a desperate spot, but unfortunately, we don't have the leadership that's led us on this. Sam had been there for 10 years. This is the first time he's spoken positively about it. Previous to this, Kara Spencer fought Better Together. So, I don't know where leadership is going to come in terms of addressing our regional dysfunctionality. We have a governor who wanted to play a role in the police department, and it seems to be absent since he turned the department over to a board. So I think to really have this conversation in a legitimate manner, we're going to have to see some type of a proposal like we saw with Better Together, which I will argue till the day I die was 99% right. And I'm afraid that we will meet the same circumstances with whatever proposal comes in the future because I don't think that folks in the St. Louis area are ready to embrace the change that's necessary.
There's two ways to skin the cat here. There's what Sam Page is talking about, which should basically be just taking the city of St. Louis into St. Louis County as another municipality. Now, that's one approach. That would effectively eliminate the county offices in the city, the license collector, recorder of deeds, those sort of things. The Better Together approach was a unitary government where St. Louis City and County would become St. Louis. And then you'd have to figure out the municipalities, how they are constructed and legally designated. And that really ultimately was the hang up the last time was the Missouri Municipal League fought this thing tooth and nail, and they effectively killed it. And so there is no unification without taking those municipalities into consideration and figuring out a mechanism that's acceptable to them for moving forward. I personally think the unitary style is better. St. Louis, Missouri. And it's a city now of 1.2 million. It's the 20th or 21st largest city in the country. Obviously, the crime statistics are going to look a lot better. And you're going to get rid of a massive amount of duplication in government services. We have the most expensive government in the country. We pay more money for government in St. Louis than literally any place else in the country.
Well, wow. I hope that we can figure something out. I really do, because what I do know for sure is that it can't go on like this forever.
Right.
And if it stays like this, we are going to keep going down the wrong path.
And we need to look no further than what's been happening since the 70s, which is this conversation comes up every decade. And a decade later, we have the same conversation with less people, more problems, more expenses. So hopefully folks will come to their senses. I just don't see the leadership on this right now. I mean, Sam's doing it, 3-4 months before he's going to walk out the door?
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
So great of you to finally weigh in.
Well, we are going to, when we come back, we're going to talk to Scott Jagow, who is leaving us. He is leaving KMOX.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, I know. And you guys spend Sunday mornings with him. We spend Friday mornings with him. We're going to talk to Scott Jagow from the KMOX newsroom next.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-566-3062. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-566-3062. That's 800-566-3062. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
St. Louis's unofficial holiday is almost here. It's Cardinals opening day, Thursday, March 26. And KMOX's Cakes and Eggs, presented by Budweiser, is back. This year with a new twist. You don't need a ticket to enjoy KMOX's live broadcast at Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village, featuring Cardinals alumni, front office personnel, special guests, and so much more. First come, first served. Doors open at 9 a.m. Celebrate opening day with dirt cheap Budweiser and Rally House. More info at KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
At a local speed dating event, homeowners weren't looking for love. They were looking for the one.
Honey, I got the best news.
What, you installed all the ceiling fans?
No, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Yeah, oh, you are, but this one is certified, background check, and everyone was fighting over him. Plus, he can install all the ceiling fans.
Okay, who is this guy?
A Jerry Kelly technician.
For heating, cooling, electrical, or plumbing, find the one for your home. Schedule today at
JerryKelly.com. Taking care of your health should be simple. And with the Neovitin monthly subscription, it finally is. Choose your doctor-formulated multivitamin and we'll deliver it straight to your door every month. No more running out, no more remembering to reorder, just consistent nutrition made easy. Plus, subscribers save 10% every month and can pause or cancel at any time. Visit neovitin.com and start your subscription today. Neovitin, trusted nutrition every day.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Dear listener, dear friend, next Sunday will be my final broadcast on KMOX. You are the best, and I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I've so enjoyed being a part of your life and a part of this fine old radio station. And that's 3 good things.
He's dead to me, and I'll never forgive him.
Yeah, that was all sentimental, great, but screw this guy. Scott Jagow, he is got his last show on Sunday morning. That's it, and then you're leaving us.
That's it, and then I'm out of here. But I will miss you guys a lot.
No, you won't.
Well, we're gonna miss you.
Hey, turn your mic
Why don't
on,
you turn
buddy.
your microphone on, John?
How long you been doing?
Yeah.
How long you been doing radio, John?
I'm sending a text message over
Yeah.
here.
Why don't you, hey, focus. We only got a few minutes with this
Yeah,
man.
come on. Let's not waste time.
The Three Good Things essay is one of my favorite
I
things
know.
to wake up to on Sunday mornings, and I would get up early every Sunday to listen to it. And between that and conversations
Chat
with
Stu
Stu
Mac.
Mac, I'm going to.
We just
I'm gonna be
recorded our
miserable
last
without
one.
you, brother.
All right. Well, let's not go that far.
All right, where are you going?
I'm going to Saratoga Springs, New York.
Awesome.
It's kind of
Beautiful.
my soul place. You know, I have I'm originally from Buffalo. I have family members there still, and of course, I worked in the horse racing industry, and there's a huge community around that in Saratoga.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the oldest racetrack in the
Mhm.
country. There are sales pavilions there. There are training tracks, retirement organizations, and the National Museum of Racing and the Hall of Fame. All of it's in Saratoga, a town of 28,000 people, except
Wow.
in the summer. Michael knows this because he's been there. It is a town of 90,000 in the summer because of the racing.
And it's a beautiful city, and I'm so excited. I will be up to see you.
Yeah, okay, good.
They have a great music scene there, great food scene, and now they've got a great journalist scene as well.
There
And
you
the
go.
guy, the
Being up
guy's
there.
in the horse racing business over here. You know, Michael and I are kind of in the horse business.
Yeah.
We only work with the back half of the horse, but I'm really happy for you.
Oh, thank you. I
So
appreciate it.
You were talking about retirement organization. Is that for people or horses?
For horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they do when they retire? Just go to
They do all kinds of jobs. Thoroughbreds are very versatile. They can become ponies at the track. They can become trail horses, jumpers, dressage, all kinds of things. They're very athletic. Some of them even become barrel racers, which is very different than running in a circle. So I love thoroughbreds and what they can do. So I may get involved with thoroughbred retirement.
It's really interesting. And I know, like we said, you're very into horse racing, know that world very well. And you mentioned barrel racing. Do you care at all or follow like a rodeo type thing? Like the Calgary
No.
Rodeo is huge, right? And they have all these barrel racers, or is that like a totally
It's a totally different
group?
industry. I'm not into rodeo.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. I just am not that into it. But I'm also
I
probably
feel like
going to do
rodeo is
some.
NASCAR and thoroughbred racing is F1.
Maybe that's one way to look at it. But the Kentucky Derby is coming up.
Mhm.
So I would love to be on Chris and Amy maybe before the Derby. We'll do a little
we'll
segment.
talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Wait a
then-
minute. I just assumed you would still be joining us every Friday
Oh.
from New York.
I don't know
not.
about that.
This is the first I'm
Maybe.
hearing of this.
I mean,
So, Scott, how long have you been thinking about doing this? Because you're going back to a place that, one, you want to live,
mhm,
a passion you have.
mhm.
It takes a lot of courage to make a decision that, hey, I'm going to go do what everybody says that they always were going to do, is someday I'm going to go do this.
I guess so. It's been in the back of my mind. And when I've been to Saratoga, I'm like, oh, I love this place so much. And St. Louis is not my home. I mean, I didn't grow up here. I don't have family here. So it's kind of like I'm moving back to a place that suits me better. And also, I don't mind the cold weather. I actually like it. I really don't like the humidity and the heat
I'm with
of
you,
the
dude.
summers here.
You know?
And it does, it affects your life, and that's just one factor. There's other factors, but I have done this before in my life where I just up and moved. For example, I moved to Louisville from Los Angeles, not having a job, but I was going to go to school at the University of Louisville to study thoroughbred racing. Yes,
Wow.
they have a program for that.
Wow.
I got a 1-year
Interesting.
degree. It's a fascinating industry. It's billions of dollars involved. The owners of thoroughbred horses are people that own one of them is Mike Rapoli. He's a big owner. He invented vitamin water. Okay.
Oh,
And then he sold it to Coke for $4 billion.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of money, and the saying in horse racing is, if you want to make a small fortune, start with a big one. And so these guys don't do it necessarily to make money. But there's also, it goes all the way to the people who are on the backstretch, who work 7 days a week and bust their butt for these horses to take care of them. So you don't get to see a lot of those people. The people who have all the money, you see them, but there are a lot of people in the industry. That
How many trainers are there of thoroughbreds?
There's
thousands or hundreds?
I would say hundreds.
Yeah.
On the national stage, there's only a few that you hear about all the time, but every track, Fairmount Park, across the river here, there are people 7 days a week, trying to make, and the purses there are pretty small, $5,000. Trying to scratch out a living.
Yeah. Scott, so we've only got about a minute here.
Okay.
As you're leaving KMOX, what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts?
Yeah, your thoughts about leaving this place.
I think the city and county should merge.
Well,
I honestly believe that.
Yeah,
by the way.
from an insider's perspective, you can see it from both angles.
Yeah, well, I do think St. Louis has a lot to offer people, obviously, because I did about 160 roaming St. Louis segments. I mean, think about that. That was a gift that I feel like I gave to St. Louis to say, hey, you got a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't grow up here. My roots aren't here. And I think it's time to move on.
Well, we're going to miss you, buddy.
Same
and
here.
we are going to employ you, but for free. We'll need your services every now and then.
I'll do it for free.
We'll talk
Scott,
horse racing with you.
The texts are coming in. John is watching. He says, thanks for the memories, Scott. Best wishes on your new adventures. Another from a 618. Scott, thanks for teaching Michelle Reeser West the garden hotline ropes. Good luck.
That's great. I love hearing that.
Also, a texter says, please tell Michael he shouldn't say fluffer. Don't use the word. All right, Scott Jagow, good luck to you, buddy. We love you.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Hancock
See you,
and
buddy.
Kelly, goodbye to you as well.
Yep.
We have a few more minutes to go before it's time for Billikens basketball here on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right, nice, soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, did you just have your house painted? Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, no, it's actually Rhino Shield.
877-25rhino.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock, cloudy, windy, and cold. It's 54 degrees right now, but with that wind, it's making things feel a lot chillier. It feels like 41 right now. I'm Debbie Monterey. A fire at a senior living apartment across from Tower Grove Park was knocked down quickly because of some lucky timing.
On the 2700 block of South Grand saw a fire break out on the 8th floor. Now, I'm standing outside the building where you can see on the 8th floor, on the back corner of it, there is an apartment complex that was totally burnt out. And you can see the remnants of the fire that trickled up the building, scorching the exterior of the 9th and the 10th floor on that corner. Now, Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson says they were lucky that not only was one of their engines just a few blocks behind this building, but they had some recent history with it as well.
The good story here is that company 2 days previous had just done a familiarization tour and a pre-plan of this facility, because it is a facility that concerns us because it is a senior living center.
Jenkinson says that there are no injuries reported from this fire, and because of their quick actions, they were able to contain it and knock it down in record time. Outside Tower Grove Manor Senior Apartments, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Military leaders provided updates on the war in Iran and the latest U.S. casualties during a Pentagon briefing.
U.S. Central Command has confirmed all 6 crew members were killed when a refueling plane crashed in Iraq. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
War is hell. War is chaos. And as we saw yesterday with the tragic crash of our KC-135 tanker, bad things can happen.
Hegseth says Iran's leaders are desperate and have gone underground.
That's what rats do.
As for the closure of the Strait of Hormuz,
something we're dealing with. We have been dealing with it and don't need to worry about it.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In Dearborn, Michigan this morning, state leaders going over what happened yesterday morning at a Temple Israel school where a man drove a car into a building, drove it down a hallway, but stopped after apparently being shot dead by a school security guard. Senator Alyssa Slotkin, who is Jewish, is urging Americans to make efforts to stop anti-Semitism.
The Jewish community suffers 10 times the number of hate crimes than any other community in this country. So it is an epidemic. And until we push back on that permission, we're going to see incidents like this continue to proliferate.
The FBI is looking into the driver's possible motive. The Lebanese government says the man's family was recently killed by Israeli bombings. From the KMOX business desk, while not all the specifics have been worked out, the Cardinals have always said if you had access to Cardinals games in the past via cable or satellite, you will again this year. And now we know that DirecTV customers will be able to find the MLB-produced Cardinals broadcast on channel 672, just one up from where FanDuel is currently found on DirecTV, and there should be no additional cost. Of course, you can always hear every Cardinals game for free on KMOX.
A mix of sun and clouds this afternoon with a gusty wind, the high near 60, partly cloudy tonight, low 36. A nice day tomorrow with sun and some clouds, breezy in the afternoon, high 64. Cloudy for Sunday, windy and warmer with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm or two in the afternoon and evening. Thunderstorms can produce damaging winds, hail, and even an isolated tornado, the high 67. It'll turn sharply colder Sunday night with rain changing to a little snow. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is cloudy, windy, and 54 degrees, but feels like 41. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Weekends! I go for the weekends!
Yeah, what are we, about 11 minutes away from the Billikens pregame show? They will play George Washington in the A10 tournament, and I'll say it again. I think I don't think they're in the NCAA tournament just yet. They probably need to put together a nice little run in this one, maybe even win it. I think they're okay, but I would not play around with it.
Well, they better get their act together because
That's what I'm talking about.
They went into this week on a death spiral. They're just falling apart.
They've played really poorly on the road lately. And this is going to be a neutral site. So, they're playing in Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
So the tournament is happening in Pittsburgh. Then when this is over, if they get the automatic bid by winning the A10 tournament, or they get the at-large bid, which again is up in the air,
Mhm.
then they'll play on a neutral site again next week in the NCAA tournament. So some of the people who follow college basketball
Mhm.
really closely, guys like Jerry Palm, who we spoke to last week, and he's for years been put together. He calls it bracketology, and he puts together what he believes will be the NCAA bracket. And as of today, he has SLU as a 9 seed going up against UCLA in San Diego. And that would they would play Arizona in the second round, probably. That's the 1 seed.
You had
So,
said 8-9 seeds is
Yeah.
the worst place to be.
it's not the best because you're playing the 1 seed in the next round if you win. I mean, you're obviously just happy to be in the tournament, but 8-9 is tough.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I did. You know how we have know-it-alls listening to our show?
Yeah. We have nothing. These people do nothing but know it all.
Well, we have someone who has corrected us.
Great.
George Washington is 6'2". Was 6'2". He probably isn't.
Do we know
anymore.
that for sure?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you
Well-
for texting in because that's a big difference.
Thank you. And
6'2". You know who the tallest president was?
Abe Lincoln,
That's right. Not counting his hat. How tall was he?
6'4".
Yes, this guy. Look at this guy.
What was Obama? Was he 6'2"? He was pretty tall.
He's pretty tall. John
So-
was right about James Madison being 5'4", the shortest president.
Oh, what a little guy. You'd have to be up on that literal soapbox just so you can stand over the podium, over the lectern.
Obama was 6'2".
6'2". Okay. You know what? All my time with the White Sox, I thought I'd meet him once. He never came to the ballpark in 8 years.
He probably did that. He probably waited
On
until
purpose?
you left.
He
Yeah.
came to Busch Stadium.
I know. That's what I
throughout
mean.
the first pitch for the
Mhm.
All-Star game.
He did. I was there for that.
Yeah.
You could see all the snipers
Oh, that's pretty cool.
standing on, it's not the roof. What would you call it? What would you call it?
I don't know.
Why am I blanking? But you could see all the snipers on top of
canopy?
Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
And then you could also, because Highway 40 is so close to Busch Stadium that they
Mhm.
closed
Yeah.
that section of Highway 40 and you could see the snipers on Highway 40.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool.
The amount of security that goes into
Yeah.
protecting the president.
My friend worked for the Secret Service at the time,
Mhm.
and she was guarding the Fox Sports Midwest booth. That's what it was at
Yeah.
the time. And I think what they did is they cleared it or they clean it, whatever they call it, the stadium. I want to
They
say
did a sweep.
The sweep, yes, 48 hours before, I want to say. And then she was one of the people posted at the door because you have to guard, certain areas 24/7 until
Yeah.
the president gets there. But it is pretty interesting.
Well, I appreciate the text line for correcting us. They love to do that. Now, if they want to do something useful, here are two useful things these people can do for us. Number one,
You've said these people more times in this hour than you usually say in a whole show.
well, we usually have 3 hours. Now we only have one. I have to condense them.
Yeah.
So, one, we need you to, this is your last chance to submit the best bar in the St. Louis area for our Barch
Mhm.
Madness tournament, which will start next week. The selection committee gets together over the next several days, and they will determine who gets to be in the Barch Madness field of 64 as we work toward the best bar in the St. Louis area. That includes the Metro East, that includes St. Louis, the county, St. Charles a little bit. Like I said, if you're in Wentzville, you're pushing it. You can try, but I'm not so sure we're going to
Good
go
luck.
that far out.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck to
If
you.
you're in East Wentzville, you might have a chance.
And
West
here's-
Wentzville,
West
no way.
Wentzville's out. And here's another thing you people can do for us.
Mhm.
The STL Mag A-list,
Oh, come on.
that competition's coming up. We were in it. We were nominated last year, and we freaking lost because of Amy.
Well, first of all, I couldn't log in to vote. Every
Yes,
time I tried
why?
to log in, it needed like my email, and then it would take me to different pages, and I tried so many times.
What are you, What is the matter
Don't
with
say
you?
a bad word.
No, I wasn't.
I
was going to make fun of somebody, and then I thought better of it.
Yeah, I tried so many times.
Can't get it with your Hancock and Kelly?
Yeah, and
you
then-
can't access your email?
and then-
you people?
Yeah.
On dope?
And then I forgot to tell my family and all those family members, if they had voted every day,
We would've won.
We would have gotten like 200 more
Jerks.
votes. And apparently it was very
Well,
close.
well,
we
now-
weren't supposed to say that. Though you said, was it close? And she said, I can't tell you. I'll tell you off air. And she told us off air. And then you said, you came back on air and said, it was close.
Yeah. Well, I think we could say it's close.
What if
But-
it was 7 votes?
It might have been 7 votes. Well, you're the idiot. You really screwed it for us. So now we're only in the nomination phase. People
Yeah.
have to.
We might not even be nominated.
Yeah. Well, I am not nominating us. I'm not doing that. Other people have to do it.
Yeah, we want you to say nice things about us. You people.
Yeah, you people have to do it.
think of
Do you know how
Make the
gauche
case.
it would be if you
how
were
gauche.
it
I'm
would be
not
if-
voting just because you used that word
no,
at
if you
10:10
go
in
if
the
you
morning.
go to STL Mag, the website, and you type in, yes, I would like to nominate my show
Yeah.
for no, you people do it. That's what you people
So
are here
gauche. Is that what I sound like all the time? Because
Yes.
that's obnoxious.
Worse.
Ugh.
You sound far worse. All right.
It was off-putting.
It is.
We got the text about pudding.
Yeah, off-putting.
Pudding. It was off-putting.
Guys,
Guys, please
I
vote
need-
for us.
yes.
We have
Yeah,
no
oh, yeah.
self-esteem. Our boss doesn't like us.
but also we need the Billikens to win.
Oh yeah. We do.
The Billikens need to win.
They need to get their act together.
Let's go.
Get it together, boys.
All right, that's the show.
That's it.
That
That's all
full
we
hour,
have.
and it was a good hour too. If you want to go back and listen to it, it's on the Odyssey app, KMOX.com, wherever you get your podcasts. Listen, we'll be back Monday at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
We're going to do this all over again. We'll give you a full show, and hopefully we're talking about the Billikens winning the conference tournament and getting the automatic bid. Good luck, Bills. This is the Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Billikens basketball next.
KMOX, delivering accurate, timely reporting every day and rising to the moment when major stories unfold.
President Trump announcing the U.S. has decimated Iran's missile capacity.
He